Hey everybody, welcome back to Everyday Journey. Today we're going to do two things. One, I got a viewer requested to how to change out the primer bulb on this. This is a Stihl FS-70R trimmer, and we'll go ahead and show how to do that. This one doesn't need to be done, but I'll show you how to do it real quick. But then at the same time, and part of the reason why I'm going to go ahead and do this is because I am having problems with this thing again. I'll show you as soon as I'm done. What's going on is whenever I start it up, it takes forever to get up to full RPMs on it. And then after that, it wants to hesitate to get up to full RPMs again. It doesn't seem like it's getting completely up there. I think it might be the same problem I had before. You can watch this one out real quick, or you can check out the, I don't know which corner it's going to be in, but check out the card up here at the top, and you can see what I did the last time that this happened. But we're going to go ahead and take this apart, check it out, see if we can't do both at the same time. The first thing we got to do is take off this carburetor cover. It's a what is this? I think it says T27. Go ahead and take that off. It's torque bit, T27. Take that off, set it aside, and we can see maybe one of the problems is that this thing is pretty gummed up. Look at that thing. That's nasty. So, but I don't think that's entirely the problem. I think really it's acting the same way it did before, so I think that's probably more likely. But let's go ahead and take the rest of the housing off. Now if you haven't emptied out the fuel yet, then go ahead and do that, or just be careful. Right now I've got the lid screwed on tight. We got several more T27 bits down here. And we got one more right here up on top. So I think that one is the T25. And that's how you break the bits. So we're going to go for broke. This one's kind of rusted up here, so we're going to try and impact and see if it'll break it loose. Nope, broke another one. Alright, luckily I used a one that was a security one that had a hole in the middle, so then I was able to actually just use a screw and screw in there and pull it out. I put a little bit of oil on here, and now I'm using another. This one hopefully is a little bit better, T25. And we've sheared the head off of it. But you know what? We're going to be able to get it apart. So let's keep going with it. We're going to flip it over. We got two more bolts down here that are at the handle, and maybe that will be all we need to take it the rest of the way off. it's looking like we're going to have to go ahead and take the handle off up here. There's 2 screws up here. Hey, look there. Holy cow, this thing is nasty inside. You guys see this? I got grease and oil and everything else in here. Look at that clutch assembly, it's all kind of rusted up. But it's all working, so I'm not messing with that yet. There's my bolt there that's sheared off. Luckily there's a little bit there at the top. Maybe I can get to it with some vice grips and get it the rest of the way out. If not, then I'm going to have to fight with it to drill it out. But hopefully I don't have to do that. So the primer bubble is right here. What we need to do to get it out is actually probably just take off the carburetor real quick. We got 2 nuts here. I believe they're M8. I say M8, 8mm. But I don't know how my socket's in here, so I'm using a 5/16. Seems to fit just fine. Now here's where you got to be careful and not mess up the gaskets, although it may be inevitable. We can pull this cover off. It's a little tight because we got the fuel tank kind of in the way a little bit, but so there's that. We can actually pull this to the side. If we want to, there's a hose there at the bottom. We could disconnect that. I'm not going to. And then here's your carburetor. Should have a hose. Well, it's got the linkage on it, that's for sure. That's kind of what's holding it, I think. So we may have to take off the linkage, which is right over here. If you want to test it, you can kind of pull your throttle cable a little bit and watch it move. So you can disconnect the linkage there, although we have it just about far enough already that we could go ahead and replace the primer bubble. There are 4 screws here that if that's all you were doing was just replacing the bulb, you wouldn't have to take anything more off. You could just undo these 4 screws, pull it off of there, and then go ahead and put the new one in. So these are just regular Phillips head screws. See if I got one here. Yeah, they're regular Phillips head screws or flathead, whichever one. And go ahead and just undo them. I'll undo one real quick. But there are 4 of them right here on top. You just undo it, pull that off, put the new one in, and then put everything back. That way you don't have to take off anything more than you have to. Since mine's good, we're going to go ahead and put that back together, try to get on with that. So at this point, if all you were looking for was how to do that, now you know. So I'm going to go ahead and put the carburetor back together. And I'll actually do that off camera so you guys don't have to watch. It's just a reverse of what we did. So the carburetor's back together except for the cover. I'm going to go ahead and pull this off just to get it out of the way. Should be able to just slide the handle out and slide the shaft out along with it. So now we're going to get to what I think might be the actual problem. This was the problem before. It's inside the muffler here was the screen, and the screen was all clogged up. And if it can't, I mean, your engine has to breathe, so it needs air in, but it also has to exhale, so it has to get it out. If that's clogged up, it's not going to run right. I'm thinking that might be the issue. Get this off of there. Not really what I want to do, but I'm going to try it. Luckily that came out. Woo! Good, because I didn't want to have to break any more than I had to. So that was the, I believe that was the, what am I using here? T25 again. At this point, we should be able to undo this screw and get this screen out again. It's a regular flathead screw. I'll go ahead and take that out. There we go. And as we can see, that thing is corroded. Well, not corroded, but it's just completely clogged up. So just like before, I'm going to go ahead and you can see it's all caked on the back. I'm going to go ahead and clean this thing out and go ahead and reinstall it. We'll try again. See if this didn't help it. If not, then we'll figure out what else is wrong with it. Oh wow, this thing runs so much better now. It's been bogging down like that probably the last 5 or 6 yards that I've been doing, and I just hadn't had time to get to it. Decided to do it this time. For those who watch this long, you can see that's how you do the primer bubble if you needed to replace it. But this is also how you fix the fact that it hesitates and doesn't want to run right, and sometimes it won't even start. That's the problem I was having before. It's been starting just fine, but it probably would have gotten to the point to where it wouldn't. But now it starts no problem, and it wants to run just like it should. So if it's a common thing though, I did take some comments from the last time that I did this. People said that they actually took a torch and burned that screen. I didn't do that. I did take a Zippo lighter and I sat there and burned off the stuff, and then I took a wire brush to it after that and got everything that was caked on there off of there. But it seemed to clean it out a lot better, a lot easier. And the reason why I didn't use a torch is because I didn't want to get it that hot. Whenever you get metal hot like that, especially with a torch, it gets red hot and it weakens it. And then it's just more prone to rusting and everything else. And I like to keep the screen in place, although some people take it out completely. It's not ideal, but so I kept it in there. I just didn't want to damage it in the process. So that's the way I did it this time. Seemed to work pretty easily. And it went back together fairly well, except for that bolt. That screw or whatever, it just sheared off. It's been rusted, I guess, and just got stuck. So I don't think I really need it. It's just one bolt here at the top. We'll find out. I may or may not go ahead and try to drill it out later and replace it. But for now, I probably won't. It's not really doing much unless I see that it is doing something. If it starts to separate there, you know, do something funky or run really weird or something, then maybe I will. But in the meantime, I'll just keep running it like it is. Tempted to go ahead and buy another one of these. I really have thought about it for a long time, and I don't know. We'll see. Maybe by next season. And that way I'll have a backup just in case this one decides to give me some problems, and then I can have a backup and use it. But this thing is, what, 4, 5, 6 years? I don't remember when I got it, but I know it's at least 4 years old, and I've run this thing like crazy. So I would not complain about it if they still have them. I'd love to buy another one. So anyway, I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for sticking it out here to the end, and I'm sorry that I haven't actually done a video in forever. But hopefully I can get to it and get some more videos out there now that I got a little bit more time on my hands. So you guys take care. Appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time.